Hey team, welcome to another Building Better Baseball timeout. And in today's timeout, we're going to go over how to keep a scorebook in baseball. So if you're a scorekeeper and you need a refresher, this is going to be perfect for you. And even if you're brand new, this is a perfect beginner video on how to keep a scorebook in baseball. Remember, I'm Coach Hart, and in these timeouts, I teach you the rules of baseball and I teach you how to play the game. So let's learn how to keep a scorebook. So the first thing we need to know and we need to think of as scorekeepers are the numbered positions in baseball. So number 1 is the pitcher, right? So number 2 is the catcher. Number 3 is first base. Number 4 is second base. Number 5 is third base. Number 6 is shortstop. Number 7 is left field. Number 8 is center field. And number 9 is right field. So those are the baseball positions on defense, and those are really important to know because you're going to use them a lot as you're scorekeeping throughout the game. What is a scorebook? So this is what a baseball scorebook looks like, and we're going to go through all of the sections on here. So this is where you put the players and the lineup, number 1 batter, number 2 batter, number 3, and all the way down. You put their name in the white area here. There's also an area to put their number. I believe it's right here, and this is the position they're playing. So you put the number and the position and the player. The gray area below, that is for a substitute. If you have somebody sub in the middle of a game for this player, you would write their name, the sub's name, in the gray area below that player. So that's what that area is for. This area up top, that's where you see the innings. So inning number 1, number 2, number 3, and all the way down. That's where you see the innings. So the innings are like columns that go all the way down along with the players and the lineup. So as the players go down, the column goes down, and that is every inning, right? This is the golden area. This is the scorekeeping area. This is where you're going to keep track of all of the stats around the game. This is where you're going to keep track of all the hits and the runs and the outs and everything, right? Each little box is where you keep the score, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. But this area is where you keep all the scores. And if your team likes to keep track of pitch count and pitching stats, most scorebooks have this area over here where this is like the pitch count. This is where the statistics are for the pitchers. So if you keep track of pitchers and the pitch counts and everything like that, most scorebooks would have a section for those stats to keep. This is where you're going to keep the game day details, so the date of the game, who's home team, who's away team, the end time, the start time, and everything like that, who the umpires are. A lot of scorebooks are different, but they all have these general areas for this information. And this is where you're going to keep the game day details. And every scorebook also has the numbered positions, just like we went over in the first slide. So this is really important as a reference. If you forget a number or forget a position or whatever, you can just use this as a quick reference, and every scorebook should have this reference for all the numbered positions. So how to keep score for offense. So these little areas are exactly like the scorebook right here. These little areas right here, we're going to dive into that specific box, right? So these are where you keep balls and strikes. So there's 3 boxes for balls, for strikes, and this is just how you keep balls and strikes for every specific batter, right? If they hit a single or get a walk, you would circle base on balls, or you would circle single, right? You would write it in the box, in the diamond, and you would draw a line of what they got. So you would draw a line from home to first because they got a single or they got a walk, right? For a double, you would write to base and you would circle it here. And you would draw a line from home to second. You're basically tracking exactly where they go to each base they go to. For a triple, you would write 3B as a triple, and you would draw a line from home all the way to third, right? Same thing with home run. You would write HR if they got a home run. You would draw a line from home all the way back to home, and you would circle HR over here, right? If they strike out, you write a K. A forwards K is swinging, so if the batter swung, you would write a forwards K. And if they did not swing, you would write a backwards K. So if they strike out, it's a K. An offensive example, these 4 batters, let's say these are the first 4 batters in your lineup, these 4 batters got 4 singles. And that's what this example is going to be. So batter 1, you would write single, and you would draw a line from home to first, right? So this is batter number 1 in the lineup that we just went over, right? You would circle single. Batter number 2 gets up, gets a single, right? So in batter number 2, you would write single, same thing, draw a line here, but you would go back to batter number 1, and on that single, batter number 1 advanced to second base. So you would draw a line from first to second. You're basically tracking exactly where each batter goes or each runner goes, right? So batter number 2 gets a single. On batter number 1, you would draw a line from first to second. You don't have to draw this extra number. This is just for your reference in this video on this line is drawn when batter number 2 gets their single. So same thing for batter number 3. You would draw the same thing. Get a single, draw the line, circle single here. Go back to batter number 2. You would draw the line because they advanced to second base. Now you would go back to batter number 1 and you would draw a line from second to third because on the third batter, he advanced from second to third. Now there's bases loaded, right? With the fourth batter coming up, they get a single. You would write the same thing. You would write a single or just circle it. You would draw a line from home to first. Batter number 3, you would draw a line from first to second. Batter number 2, you would draw it from second to third. Batter number 1 has now scored because everybody has gone around. For a run, when a run scores, you color in the box, okay? You color in the box just like this. When you see this on a scorebook, that is how you can easily count the runs. So if you're going down the scorebook and you're going down to try and keep score, you can see all the ones that you've colored in, and that's what the score is. So if you see 5, obviously your team has 5 because they scored 5 runs, right? So this batter number 1 has now gotten all the way around with the 4 singles, and they have scored, so you color it in. Now, batter number 4, you want to make sure you note that he got an RBI, right? You want to write down that he got an RBI. If he hit a double and he got 2 runs in, you would write 2 RBIs. You would write 3. However many RBIs he got, you would write that down in his little square for that inning, for that at-bat. Some special situations, you do the same thing, you draw the line and track where the runner is going, and you just write down what the special situation was. So if they reach base on an error, you would write E. ROE is reached on error. So if they got on by an error, you would write ROE or just E, right? So HBP is hit by pitch. So you would draw a line from home to first, and you would write HBP. So if they got on by pass ball, you would write PB right here. You would draw a line from home to first, and you would write PB as in pass ball. If they have a stolen base, you would write exactly in this situation, in this example, it says SB. That's exactly what it would look like. If they're on first and they stole second, you would draw a line from first to second, and you would write SB as in stolen base. For a fielder's choice, if they got on by fielder's choice where they could have gotten out, but the fielder made a choice to go to another base to get an out, you would draw the line from where they went, and you would write FC as in fielder's choice. For a BK or a balk, same thing with the stolen base. You would draw a line from first to second or second to third. Wherever they are coming from and going to, you would draw that line, and you would write BK as in balk. For a defense example, for the defense, you have to write the position number of the defender and what happened. So where the ball went and what that defender did. So in this example, number 6 is what? Shortstop, right? So the ball went to shortstop and he threw it to first base. So you can even draw a line. Some people like to draw a line from shortstop to first base, just as another extra tip there. But if you write 6-1, that means the shortstop got a ground ball and they threw it to first base. So you would say 6-1, and you would down here, you would write 1 out. So that player got the first out, and that's a good way to keep track of the outs. You just write 1 out, 6-1, 1 out, right? Let's say the second batter comes up and they hit a fly ball to center field, right? You would write FO as in fly out, GO is ground out, FO is fly out to 8, right? So 8 is center field, fly out to center field, 2 outs. So they flew out to center field, now there's 2 outs. So we write that down. And we write down FO8 as in fly out to center field. Let's say the third person comes up, they hit a single, right? So you would write down single or circle it, either one. And then they try to steal the base, but they got thrown out at second base. Then you would draw a line from first to second, and you would write CS as in caught stealing. So caught stealing is the abbreviation or the term for somebody getting thrown out at a base when they're trying to steal. So the initial thing is a single because they did get a single, but then they tried to steal second and they got caught. So you would write CS on this line here, and this is exactly what it would look like. They got the third out, so you would write 3 outs there. And this is what we say here. We have to write how many outs are in the box. So if somebody gets an out, you just write how many outs there are in the box. It's more for your reference, but also to keep in the scorebook for everybody's reference. So a new inning, this is how we do a new inning, okay? So let's say that there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So first 3 outs. First batter gets out. There's 1 out. Then the second batter gets out. There's 2 outs. Then the third batter gets out. That's the end of the inning, right? So this is the first inning here. You would draw a line here, just like this, as in end of the inning. There's nothing that goes in the bottom of the first inning anymore. The first inning is done. So you move over to the second inning column here because the next inning is the second inning. You would move over here as this arrow is pointing. You would start with batter number 4. So second inning, batter number 4. Let's say he gets out. Then batter number 5 gets out. Then batter number 6 gets out. New inning, that's 3 outs. Same thing. You draw a line here as in the end of the second inning, and then you would just move over to the third inning, just like this. So all of the stuff that we just went over for the outs and the singles and the doubles, you would record in every single batter's box here. You would go all the way down until there's 3 outs. And then after 3 outs, you draw a line to designate or signify the end of the inning. And then you just move over to the next inning and start at the next batter. So you just draw a line signifying the end of the inning and then move over into the next column for the second inning and then third, fourth, all the way down the scorebook. Inning totals. So after an inning is done, you want to total everything up. How many runs, how many walks, how many of every single statistic is there. You would write down at the bottom here for the inning totals. So this is a great way, especially at the end of the game, to reference. You want to go back to each inning and see the totals that you totaled up. That's a really quick way to add up all of the runs and do the final score and everything like that. And really quick, one little point. If a team bats around the lineup, so let's say there's 9 batters, right? And the team goes batters 1 through 9 and they don't get 3 outs. Then you would just move over to the next column and then just cross out that 2 and you would put 1. So if you have a team that's batting around the lineup and then somebody comes back up, you can't go back to the first inning because there's already stuff written there, right? So you would just move over into the next column. You would cross out this inning number 2 and you would put inning number 1. And then you would just do that all the way down each column and change each inning to the next inning. So inning 2 would be number 1, inning 3 would be 2, 4 would be 3, and so on and so forth. Thanks for taking the time out with Building Better Baseball. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this helped you if you're a scorekeeper or if you've never even kept score. I know that there's a lot of scorekeepers who do it on their phones these days, but if you have a scorebook and you need some help, I hope this video helped you. If you like what you saw, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I come out with weekly videos to help you improve your game and to help youth baseball players and coaches in their baseball journey. I'll see you in the next time out.